Live. Let me start it off. Okay. All right. Thank you all for tuning in for a special conversation with Mr. Clark. My name is Mr. Clark. I have the all-star panel with me joining, and these guys are amazing. I have my mother, Sequette Clark. I have a good friend of mine, Nicholas Wildstar. I have one of my closest confidants, Miss T. I have a good friend of mine who's going to college, be a lawyer. My brother Chris, fighting in the moon. I have the amazing, shiny Miss Drake, so saucy and sophisticated. She is one of the hardest working people in the city of Sacramento. And these are my all star panelists. I'm grateful to have them. But I want to say, may the life and legacy of Stephon Clark live in a positive light for generations long after you and I have left this earth. So before I start off, let's start with that SAC 6, right? Number one is bridge the gap between law enforcement and at-risk communities. That's what we believe in, okay? We believe in bridging the gap. But before we do that, we must bridge the gap between community and community. Number two, we believe in informing and educating on policy and legislation change. Informing, when we say the word inform, we mean to give facts. When we say educate, we're saying to give moral, social, or intellectual instruction. So to inform and educate on policy and legislative change, which is Stephon Clark law, which is legacy on paper. Number three is to provide resources and healing spaces for those in need in our community. We believe you give a man a fish, he'll eat for a day. But if you teach a man to fish, man, that boy eat for a lifetime. We believe in commemorating the life and ongoing legacy of Stephon Clark so that his name may live on for positive and in a positive life for generations long after you and I have left this earth. We believe in receiving recommendations from you, the people, because we don't know all the answers. So we need your help. So we believe in receiving recommendations from you, the people, on how to prevent such Stephon Clark atrocities from ever happening again. And number six, the golden rule, spread the gospel of love. John 15:12 says, love each other as I loved you. If you skip down to John 15:18, it says, if the world hates you, know they hated me long before they ever hated you. So everybody love everybody. So I'm going to bring my panelists in. We got an all-star team right now, and I'm bringing them in. And let's get the conversation going. Mama Clark, Wildstar, Miss T, my brother Chris, Connie. Let's get the conversation going. Okay, so Mama Clark, let's start with you.
Hi, everyone. Hello?
Yeah, we hear you. We hear you.
All right, great. So my thing died. So I'm Sequette Clark. I am the mother of Stephon Clark, as well as our lovely host, Devontae Clark. I'm also the CEO at I Am SAC Foundation, a foundation that was founded in the honor of my son, Stephon Clark, by his brother, Devontae Clark, in order to prevent what happened to Stephon, as well as his brother DeMarcus, from ever happening again in Sacramento. We are going out of our way to address the underlying factors that placed my two sons in the situations and circumstances that they were placed in and killed in. So underlying factors such as education, job placement or employment, training, apprenticeship programs, healing, health, mental health situations, homelessness, all of the underlying factors that we know far too well that exist in underserved, underrepresented communities. Those are the factors that we are addressing here at I Am SAC Foundation. So my why, I do this because I buried DeMarcus. I buried my 16-year-old son to community violence in 2006. I wiped his blood up off of the sidewalk so people did not walk through it. His so-called friends robbed him and killed him, took his cell phone and answered it after his death. My son Stephon was trying to get into his grandmother's house by knocking on the back window, as he and the rest of the family have been instructed to do. And upon doing that, he was murdered by Sacramento police officers Robinette and Mercadale, who are still employed with Sacramento Police Department. The actionable items that I personally am taking to prevent those things from happening again are, number one, my passion is growing, learning, healing with other mothers who have lost their children by whatever means. We are called yayos. We have identified who we are. We know who we are and who we will never be again. And it is our mission to learn, to grow, and to heal together, so that we can continue to live and experience life. So we have a weekly broadcast through social media right now, every Monday at 10 a.m., Facebook Live, Instagram, YouTube channel, I Am SAC Foundation. The other actionable item to address the underlying factors of what happened with my sons is Stefan's house, the grand opening of Stefan's house, March 18th, taking the death out of the day and implementing legacy into the day. So the day his life ended is the day that Stefan's legacy began. And March 18th, we will be launching the grand opening of Stefan's house, a 24-hour resource center, in honor of Stefan. So that's my why, that's my how, those are my actionable items. Also, hold on. Also, I recently posted a post on volunteermatch.com. We are currently receiving applications for volunteers to help us prepare for the grand opening. There are several ways that you can become a part of the movement and not just the moment. You can donate your money or your time or your skills to the I Am SAC Foundation and know that you are part of this new civil rights movement in a positive light and an actionable manner. So hit us up at iamsacfoundation.com through the website portal or email us at iamsacfoundation@gmail.com. You can also call us at 916-290-9359. Welcome to this new civil rights movement.
Thank you, Mama Clark. That was good. Thank you, Mama Clark, for your introduction.
All right.
Right. Yeah, right. So next online, we have my guy, my main man. He is the guy who introduced me to the Libertarian Party. More freedom, less government. And then he switched over to the Republican Party. And, and we love him still. This is our brother in the fight. As you see on the back of his background is Gavin Newsom. He's always been somebody who it looks good though. It looks good. I like the quality. There's somebody who's very outspoken in what he believes in, but I love this brother. And so I want to introduce you guys to Nicholas Wildstar. Wildstar, give them an introduction, please. Like no other.
Thank you very much. That was an incredible introduction, and it's hard to follow up such a wonderful, extraordinary person as Mama Clark, so I'll keep it brief. My name again is Nicholas Wildstar. I am a 10-year community activist. I've been fighting against police brutality and media censorship for over the past decade now. I'm also a husband to a wonderful woman who I've been married to for almost 10 years now, and father to a wonderful son who just passed over a year. So as Devontae said, I am running for governor of California as a Republican. However, I was the 2018 Libertarian candidate for governor, and much of what I introduced on my platform as a candidate then, I'm doing so now, which is reducing taxation and improving accountability in government and transparency, of course, as well as help those in need, actually put our tax dollars to work to mend homelessness and poverty in the state of California. So, of course, if you want to find out more about me, visit my website, wildstar2022.com, and let's bring back liberty to California.
Thank you, Wildstar. I appreciate that. Bring back liberty. I heard that. So you're keeping the 2018 slogan for the next election?
For sure. We still got to bring back liberty now more than ever before, especially with these lockdowns by gruesome Newsom, taking away our liberties. We need them back now more than ever before. So what I'm proposing to do to make that happen definitely sounds like wild and crazy ideas, like eliminating taxes. I know that sounds crazy, but I believe that the best way for us to keep money in our pockets is to improve the economy, not for us to be taxed more when people are out of work and are struggling to pay their bills and keep food on their tables, So keep money in their pockets by eliminating sales tax, property tax, income tax, all these taxes for the state of California for the 4 years while I'm in office. And of course, improve accountability with our police department. There's a call in the streets to defund the police, and I definitely think that needs to be done to some degree, since these police shootings that end up happening, the lawsuit settlements for those payments end up coming out of taxpayers' pockets. So I want to require liability insurance for police officers. That way they are paying for these abuses of authority and excessive uses of force themselves. Also in qualified immunity. And with me being a Republican, I'm also being a supportive of gun rights. I'm pro 2A all day. So I believe that we, the people, should have our natural right to protect ourselves, our constitutional right to bear arms, be respected by law enforcement. And I would like to make the state of California a constitutional carry state. I also believe that'll reduce the amount of police shootings where they say the person had a gun and they were in fear for their life. If they're now trained to respect our right to bear arms, then now they should not be in fear of their life, unless we, of course, are posing a direct threat. And of course, when it comes to helping our homeless community, instead of spending the billions of dollars wastefully on, renting out hotels to house them like Gavin Newsom, I would like to build 3D printed homes. These 3D printed homes can be built in less than 24 hours, cost less than $5,000 each. They're self-sustainable. They have their own water and power. The technology exists right now, so it would not devalue any property, that's neighboring in the neighborhood. You got those not in my backyard people, but with the use of this advanced technology is going to increase the property value for any neighborhood. So what I would like to do is, as I said, use a couple $million of dollars that we've already put aside to help those in need to actually put it to use to come up with permanent solutions to end our homelessness problem here in California. So those are just a few things that I'm proposing to do. As I said, definitely visit my website and find out more about what I'm offering, and hopefully I can gain your support.
All right. Thank you, Wildstar. Thank you. I appreciate you, my man, Pots and Pans. Now we're going to go on to our next panelist, Shani, Miss Melinda Drake. Her birthday was yesterday. Today is her birthday, actually.
Today.
Yeah, today's her birthday.
Happy birthday.
Yes, happy birthday.
Yes.
Birthday. So I want Shani to go, but before Shani go, we know all to sing her happy birthday. So can we all sing happy birthday?
On the count of three. One,
2, 3. Happy birthday to you.
Happy birthday
to you. All right, got it. All right.
Stevie Wonder.
You messed it up. Mama, you messed it up.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, Shani. We love you. Happy birthday.
Thank you. Thank
Talk
you.
to him, Shani.
Such a wonderful introduction. Thank you, Cervante, and thank you, everyone, panelists, for giving me, such a wonderful birthday celebration. Towards the end of the night, but we're starting a new year, and in 2021, we're looking for more activism within our community. We're looking to have people, guidance and to have the right type of mindset in order to achieve their goals. My name is Shani Melinda Drake. I live here in Sacramento, California, native here. I am known for urban gardening within my community, but first and foremost, I'm an educator. I teach children with autism. I've been in the field of behaviorism and behavior therapy for over 12 years. And so with that significance, I'm able to impact my generation. And that's my first and foremost goal, is to inspire and educate people within our generation. Um, and that means that we are the next in line for political power. And one amazing thing that, I've been working on recently in 2021, you will be able to find me at my new Instagram. It's called at Herbal Hustler, HERBALHUSTLA. The significance of the Herbal Hustler is, a motivation movement. So when we use the term hustler, it's a person who is a go-getter, someone who wants to achieve a financial goal to sustain, within their own environment. And the whole hustler part means that, in a community, upon division, we're looking into several things in our background that hinder us. That includes police brutality, that includes poverty overall, misguiding, within our education systems, and overall health and wellness. So I've been in the health and wellness business for over 7 years. And in this business, which includes urban gardening, for over 10 years, I have been in several magazines here in Sacramento, California, as well as my brother being devastated in the year 2000 and was shot and killed by the Sacramento County Sheriff's Department. Upon that devastation for my own family, it's done such a dramatic change. And at the age of 13, it has actually granted me more power. So when I think about, a tragedy and atrocities, it brings light and substance to you as an individual, but that means that you will be able to influence somebody using that new power. And at the age of 13, I was honestly not placed in school. I had a period where I had to sit in the courtroom, listen to judiciary, officials, policemen, and, blue lives, I would say, for shortening. But the thing is, in that time frame, at the age of 13, it's made such an impact. I'm such more of an eloquent speaker. I've been able to, listen to those terms and now use them in my community. So my overall impact, and the reason why, I'm a mother of 2 beautiful children. They were also featured in The Garden from Insider Sacramento magazine. Growing Up in the Garden was their Farm to Fork for Sacramento article. As well as that, I'm looking into just helping people overall. The way we eat, the way we ingest food is exactly what we're going to be using, as our mindset. So I think it's really important for people to not only indulge in, occasions and celebrations. Hey, it's my birthday, right? But at the same time, I really want to make sure people understand that, within our community, we need guidance. We need to help one another. And there aren't many structures here in Sacramento, foundational structures, that people want to attribute to. And I think that I believe that I Am SAC Foundation is a great starting point. And I can't wait for this March 18th grand opening to introduce the people, the public, and our communities, because they are the ones who are overall affected. They are the ones who want to make changes, but they don't know how. So I'm really looking forward to hearing more about you. You can find me also on Saucy_Sophistication at Instagram, or you can find me right there at the Herbal Hustler. I appreciate everyone. Thank you, panelists, and I'm really excited to be on this call. I can't wait for more work, and there's always something greatness. Like I said, there's greater good out of pain and purpose.
Thank you, Shani, for that. That was amazing. Thank you.
Thank you.
So saucy and so sophisticated. We appreciate you. All right, next to this brother right here. He used to work for Shane Harris, but we ain't gonna call him out. No, I'm playing. We love this guy right here. He's okay. He's all right, brother. Chris's family. I met him through a reverend named Shane Harris. But I even though sometimes you might not talk to people anymore, the influence and the people that they connect you to are sometimes there forever. They're like family. And even though I don't talk to Shane like that anymore, I have no ill will to talk to Shane. I love Shane. Everybody love everybody. Me and Chris are just more connected. You know what I mean? And I love this brother. He's in LA doing school. He's in college in LA right now. The man is learning the law. So I just want you guys to hear this brother. He is He's someone. This is what I like about Chris. Is he's open to learn. He's okay to sit in the back to learn some of the stuff that he could use to take him further. You know what I mean? And a lot of people don't want to sit in the back sometimes to learn because they feel like they just need to be. That's not how it works. Okay, that's not how it works. You understand? I was talking to some of my family the other day, and we're talking about Al Sharpton, and Eric Garner Jr. was telling me that Al Sharpton been preaching since he was 4 years old. And you understand, this man didn't really get his break till he was about 50, 60 or something like. You know what I mean? Like Al Sharpton didn't really get on until this MSNBC like that. But a lot of people see the radio station and all that. But he been hitting the streets really faithfully. And Shane Harris, the young brother who been hitting the streets. But this brother right here, this brother Chris right here, he's doing something different. He's going to school. Talk to him.
Thank you for that great introduction, man. You boost me up all the way. I appreciate that. But you hit it right on the head. You know, I really do like learning, and everybody here on the panel is somebody who I could learn from. Everybody, you know, around in the community is somebody who I could learn from because I just don't know it all, you know, and there's so much more that I need to work on. But my name is Chris Adams, and I am with the People's Alliance for Justice. I'm the UCLA ambassador for the People's Alliance for Justice. And my other business that I'm currently working on right now is a nonprofit called A Game Changer. And A Game Changer is a student-led mentoring / life coaching. And then we hook everybody up with resources just to kind of succeed in school. Not kind of, we're actually succeeding in school. I really use the strategies that I use to get to college to where I am. I started off in Sacramento. I went to CRC, Cosumnes River College, for my first 2 years. The first couple of years was very hard for me just because I just didn't do school. I was a high school dropout. So school just did not come to me. I didn't know too many people who knew about school. I didn't know the process on what to do. I had a couple of tutors in my life, a couple of mentors that really changed things off for me. And so with all the strategies that I learned over time, I kind of keep those, you know, in my book, in my pocket, and I'm using that to work with anybody who wants to get through school. And to get through school, I really feel like you're going to need a tutor, you're going to need a mentor, and you're going to need a life coach or somebody who could hold you accountable for what you're doing. And basically that's me. I'm not doing too much. Like I said, I'm still in school right now. So I'm a full-time student. I'll be going to law school next year. Hopefully I'll be at the White House for a DC internship next year. So I have a couple of things going on, but I just got to keep focused, you know, learn from you guys and, you know, be the best I could be for the community. Thank you for having me.
All right. Thank you, brother. That was amazing. Look at this, brother. Made it. You made it, brother. South Stack. Boy, you came a long way, man. I'm proud of you, nigga. Yeah. But so let's we ain't got that much time. You guys introductions to the whole podcast. But I love y'all. I love y'all dearly. But you know, let's talk about, you know, I was gonna talk about the COVID, but we ain't got time for that. It's 8 o'clock already. So let's get on this insurrection they're calling. Okay. And what happened at the White House a few days ago, if you guys didn't see it.
So you don't want to introduce me?
Oh, you didn't go, Miss T?
No.
I was going.
Oh yeah, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, I was going in line. Hey, hold on. Look, that's my bad. Thank you, Miss T. Hold me accountable. So Miss T's going next. I forgot Miss T. Look, everybody took so much time. But let me introduce you real quick a little bit before I let you do. Miss T, I don't know how I forgot. I thought she went already. I thought you guys already knew her. If you don't know, you figure out. Miss T is a great friend of mine. Whenever I'm trying to just talk to somebody or get some type of wisdom or just chill, or she's somebody that I could just chill with without any politics or any stuff. You know, we could just hang out and talk. Somebody that I trust, you know, and somebody that I think I think recently she told me she was a life coach now, but I think she's always been a life coach. And, you know, I think just, you know, people just throw that name in there, but sometimes, you know, life coaches don't usually have those titles as life coaches. You know, our great grandmothers were life coaches. You know, they just did probably call them, know that there was a job. You can get paid for doing that. You know what I mean? And but what Miss T is just a positive influence. And I don't know how I missed her, but she's been a part of what we've been doing for a very long time, especially here at IAMSAC. Good friends and what we're doing, very into the cannabis program, into healing, just into a lot of different things, agriculture, gardening. She's just all-star incredible. Miss T, can you do the introduction? Just let the people know who you are.
Man, I don't know if I need one after that, but I'll try. Hi, everybody. My name is Miss T. Like Stefante say, I am a healer. I started off and I have 16 years in massage therapy. I was a nurse for 6 years, and I'm a real estate agent, and I'm also a part of the Sacramento Core program, which is a program that was put on by the state for people that were affected by the war on drugs. And it gives us an opportunity to, I guess, get some monetary value from our people being subjected to the terror of the war on drugs. So there was a core program put into place so that we are able to get a piece of the cannabis world. It's hard, but it's worth it for those of you guys that are interested in the process. You can email me at bodytree.llc@gmail.com, or you can hit me up on my Instagram, MT Medicinals. And I am a mother of 4. I have 1 child in the Air Force right now. And I have a son, he's married, and I have 2 at home finding themselves, embarking on the entrepreneurial roles as well. My theory in life is find something that you're good at and do it every single day. I think that we need to mentor and support one another. And I love the panel. I can't wait to meet those of you guys that I haven't met yet. And those of you that I have, I look forward to just continuing our relationship.
Thank you, Miss T. I appreciate you.
Love you.
All right. Now we're going to start with the panel now, you guys, and we'll start with our conversation. I already alluded a little bit to it about this crazy insurrection, they're calling it, at the White House. And WildStar, these are your people, man. You want to talk about it? You want to open us up? What's up with your people, man? Your people's spazzing out there. What's going on, man?
It's not a Republican Democrat issue. I mean, it's sad. These are Trump supporters, which is completely different. I'm not a Trump supporter. I'm not a red hat Republican. But Trump
supporters, most Trump supporters are Republican, right?
They claim to be. They claim to be conservatives, even though they're more so neocons, just like you got a lot of people on the left and Democrats calling themselves liberals when they're more so illiberals. So it's just redefining the true status of their political beliefs. So anybody that's advocating for the takeover of state and for government to use force.
WildStar, 70 million people voted for Donald Trump, brother.
I know.
And you're saying all 70 million aren't Republicans, they're just Trump supporters? Is that what you're saying?
Well, all 70 million of the people that voted for Trump didn't show up at the Capitol building, did they? That's what I'm saying.
They did it, but they are Republicans, correct?
They call themselves Republicans, yeah, absolutely. But it's a toeing the line sort of thing. You had people that voted for Trump and they were Democrats. They voted for, Hillary the last time around, probably voted against Trump or voted for Obama for that state.
If you had to choose, you're a libertarian, if you had to choose between Trump or Biden, who would you have picked?
I would have chose neither. I voted for Joe.
I knew you were going to say that. I said if you had to.
Why you got to do this gun to your head type of situation here? I mean,
if you had to, I would say Biden.
Of course. I mean, because you're picking the lesser of the two evils.
So you'll pick a Democrat. Okay. All right, so moving on and moving forward.
Stephanie, I think people just want somebody to follow. Like you have people that just want to follow somebody, you know. So I think the people at the White House, everybody's been cooped up in the house. Somebody made some phone calls and was like, "Hey, we're going to storm the Capitol," and they were like, "Yes, I'm going to." You know, so you have those people that have no cause; they just have reactions.
But you have a lot of Republicans.
Can I speak? Trump. Okay, so here's the thing. The Trump supporters are from every political race, because what he did, how Trump got elected, was he identified with each and every white supremacist in turn. So in my opinion, the majority of all white people have a bit of racism or supremacy in them. You know, they all believe that they are superior.
They might have a little privilege.
They all believe that they are superior to us, and so what he did was he directed his campaign toward that, and so it superseded the lines of political parties, and more or less aligned them with their initial belief system, which is that they are superior to every other race in America. So that being said, is why he has so much power and so much control. It's not about politics. It's about their belief system. They believe that they are superior to every other race. That's why they're the only ones capable of being racist, because they believe they are superior to every other race. They're the only race that has a derogatory name for every other race that exists.
And it's crazy. I'm glad you said that. No, Mama, anybody can jump in. You know what would happen? I heard Joe. I don't know if you guys watch Morning Joe. Joe Scarborough. He used to work at the Senate. He said if a black person would have walked 4 steps onto that Capitol, he'd have been shot in the head. And if it was a Muslim, he'd have been sniped from the building.
Right.
You see, if it was a Muslim, he'd have been sniped from the top of the building. This is Joe Scarborough, MSNBC, I'm quoting.
But the white people were escorted into the building.
Yeah,
they were. With guns.
With guns.
Shani, we can't hear you, Shani.
I don't like mixing religion and politics together, but there's a story, the Jezebel story, where her predecessor is converting. They want to convert someone, from a different religion, separation between this religion to that religion. And then it kind of goes the same hand, Democrat and Republic. But when it comes down to the liking and following of a person, depending on your influence, when you have 8 million people plus on, one registered data quote, or, a platform is what I'm saying. They are using that and thinking that that superiority, because you have so many influencers, you are an influencing person, and of course they're going to follow, they're going to listen to the nonsense. And when it comes down to in the story in the biblical times where Jezebel was shot down, and it happened to be something of that sort where she had a high influence, and so does Trump. And people are going to follow. People are going to listen. And it's because of that superiority that they think that they are in the right. And we know the answer. They know the answer. Mm-hmm. And what are we going to do from that now? We know that from this day forward, 1/6/21, it's going to be an incredible spark. It has going to bring some change, amazing change. We don't know what's going to happen, but this is the starting point from right here.
Yeah, we're 7 days, 9 days in the new year, and you have already, it's been crazy, My brother Chris, People's Alliance for Justice. What do you have to say about this, man?
Man, it's wild. For a long time, I was football coaching at Jesuit High School in Sacramento, and it's a lot of Republicans.
A lot of Republicans.
So the whole process, during the first 4 years, I just sat back, observed a lot of different things that was going on. And, it's funny how when Black people were getting shot around town, and things were going on, they were ready to go to war. You know, a lot of people were saying different things within, you know, how they felt about what was going on, terrorist groups, how you should approach a problem, what you should do, what you shouldn't do, you know, how they felt about, you know, the country and the Constitution and all these different things. But when you seen what happened on the 6th, you know, it was a whole different story. You know, a lot of people was quiet, you know, when things happen to where about they're embarrassed up on, they're quiet up on it. They don't really have too much to say about it, you know. And all I'm saying is have the same energy for either or. You know, if it was Black people, if it was a minority group or whatever you want to call it, that was in there fighting for justice on something that was right, something that's true, that we could all see is wrong, you know, why can't you have that same energy when you see your people out there acting a fool, doing whatever? You know, it's always a different excuse for different things. But now I will look at both. You know, I'm not saying that either side is right, because I feel like as Democrats, they should have went harder on this situation. You should call this out, you know, say that it's terrorism, because that's what it is. Or what is it? What do you call it? Because if it's something different, let me know what term you use so we could do that same thing. When
It's
injustice
treason.
is
It's treason.
It's
Definitely.
treason and
You
terrorism.
attack the state.
I think
It's
they went,
treason.
the words went hand in hand.
Yeah,
Well,
it is. It's just treason against. Yeah.
the rules when it comes to them. That's what they've been doing. This is not nothing new. See, the reason why Trump got elected, because Trump said to the world everything that every white person really thinks anyways, okay? So they were all able to identify with that and vote for him, okay? So
not
now
every white person. Generalize it. When you say every white person,
okay,
not every white person voted.
I stand corrected, the majority. So, but when you look up racist, it says the entire race has to believe that they're superior to every other race. And if there is one race that believes they're superior to every other race, it's the white race. So that being said, I'm not racist. I'm incapable of being racist. I'm Black. And number two, I am racial. I am very aware of the racist systemic world that I live in. Okay, so I'm not gonna sugarcoat that. But here's the thing. Call it for what it is. I did not vote for Trump, but guess what? When he ran for president, I respected him. You know why? I didn't have to figure nothing out. I knew where he stood. You understand that? I didn't have to figure anything out about him.
All the time. I said because he tweeted it all the time.
No, I'm not on Twitter.
He did.
I'm not on Twitter, so I don't know what he tweets. I'm not on that. I'm talking about when the man ran for president, he got on these debates and said what he meant.
Yeah, he did a lot of rallies too.
He said what he meant, right? So for anybody to think that he wasn't going to get in there and build a wall or attempt to say that Black lives don't matter, he's been saying it. He hasn't switched up.
Okay, what are you saying, Wildstar?
I said, well, what he did was he was able to connect with the disgruntled people in America, the out of work, middle class, hardworking people that are feeling threatened by their status.
He calls them the forgotten people.
Yeah, the forgotten people. And
yeah, even in Ohio, when I lived in Ohio, a lot of Black people supported Trump. You'd be surprised.
I know a lot of Black people that supported Trump.
I know a lot of Black people too. You know that.
And the only reason is because they felt like he was a straight dude. He was the one that was telling them exactly how it is, and he could be trusted. Now,
and also, to add to what you're saying to that point, he also talked about bringing a lot of those jobs back that they were losing, like the coal jobs, the manufacturing jobs, a lot of the jobs in Ohio that were Nabasco, and the only job out there that you really get in Ohio, you guys, everybody's watching live right now, Youngstown or Warren or Canfield or anywhere in those, Hartfield or anywhere around there, you're looking at working for Ford Focus or working at a detention officer. At some type of location. There's not that many jobs. The coal, the steel, the mining, all those jobs are gone. So when Trump comes out there and he flies in that jet, and he flies on out in that jet, that private jet with his name on it, he talks about bringing all those jobs your daddy lost, all those jobs your granddaddy lost, right back.
He brought those 2 stimulus checks too.
And that's the part where you can bust their bubble, because every supposed Republican is against socialism, but yet they're advocating for these bailouts, which is a socialist type of response to rebuilding the economy, government creating wealth out in thin air, which it does not do. We're only borrowing that money from the Federal Reserve and putting the taxpayer, the working class people of this country, further into debt. So
yeah, they think they can just print money and give it away and it's okay. And that's what's happening. No, that's not what's happening. We already owe China trillions of dollars.
Well, I know a lot of business owners were back Trump because they were adamant about him making them richer, sheltering their money and bringing more tax cuts to the rich.
And yeah, I agree. And you know what? Now there's another thing. They're talking about January 12th. They will be going back at the White House. Did you guys see that?
Mm-hmm.
No.
January 12th, they're talking about that. Not January 20th, because of that's the day of inauguration. They're talking about going back.
Storming back to the White House the day that Biden is.
Well, that's what talks are. That's what talks are. That's what talks are.
I think that Trump is literally going to be carted out of the White House.
I think the system has failed when it comes to not arresting that man, charging that man, convicting that man for mobilizing those people before that rally. Telling them, hey, let's go over there to the Capitol. Twitter, you were too late to suspend his account. You should have been suspending his account. Twitter, you're part of the problem. Facebook, you are part of the problem. You should have been suspended those accounts.
Yes.
Instagram, you are part of the problem. You guys, the media
exactly
is to blame for this. Okay, the Capitol Police, those guys who were like, come on, welcome them in, they need to be held accountable. And it's sad because now you don't know who's even on that force. Was the people on those forces, were they not Americans? Were they not Capitol Police? Were they not part of this democratic society? I've seen it. I've seen people literally get 3 blocks to the Capitol, walk 3 blocks toward the Capitol, and be shoved away, pushed away, screamed at, yelled at. And yet those people literally walking into Nancy Pelosi's office, putting their feet on her desk, stealing mail, stealing the Pope, disrespecting the people's house. The people's house. And I guarantee you, if you go up to most of them people, they couldn't even tell you what the Constitution means. They couldn't even tell you what's in the Declaration of Independence. So I tell you right now, the Capitol Police failed. Law enforcement failed. When the Black Panthers came to Sacramento, they made a whole law banning guns in public.
Right.
An entire law. Yet these people come in the people's house, disrespect the people's house, steal mail. They're escorted in, walked out politely. Nobody's arrested till days later in national outcries. The president, he said he will not be attending the inauguration. He's a sore loser. The Republican Party has failed because they kept protecting and kissing his ass the entire way.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Steph, we knew this about him from the beginning. We knew Donald Trump.
The Republican Party should have did what's right. They called him crazy when they was running against him. And then as soon as he won, they started kissing his ass. Lindsey Graham, Rand Paul, all of them. They start kissing his ass. And now they have to pay for this. History, remember January 6th. Everybody will know where they were on January 6th. This hasn't happened. The last time this happened since the 1800s. 1800s. Look at the world we are living in, you guys. And if people see it's okay, you can walk out like you'll see other people do it again. It will happen again because they see, look, nothing. They got away with it. They walked out with it. And the president still, till this day, refuses to call out white supremacy. Refuses to call out the Proud Boys. Refuses. Instead, he still holds by the stand back and stand by. If this country doesn't wake up and get our shit together, the next time this happens, more lives will be lost. 5 people died. 5 people died. A guy was crushed. A woman was shot in the head. A woman who served this country was shot in the head. And the people who support this guy, he needs to be held accountable. He needs to be held accountable.
That's why for the Republican Party to be able to recuperate from this in any way, shape, or form, to be
Never.
with the Democrats, they got to denounce Donald Trump and Trump supporters. It's the only way that it's going to happen.
Trump needs to be in jail. The Capitol Police, the entire department needs to be fired. Every Republican that kissed Trump's ass,
it's a major national
needs to be voted out. This is a sad.
Everybody say F Donald Trump. Remember that song?
See that F Donald. You know, this is a sad day. You know,
it just seems that this is a comedy towards other countries. I'm pretty sure they're looking at.
They're laughing at us.
This is a devastation for America.
Iran is laughing at us. Iraq is laughing at us.
The way they had the entrance and the cameras in view to everyone, just welcome in,
right?
Like the school tour. Hello, you guys, welcome. The thing is, it should be an honorary comedic scene when Trump is being placed out of office, and if it's that, there's no comedy when it comes to 5 people in death over this. There's nothing about that. But the thing is, I want to see the whole hook cane. No. Go ahead and do it though. It's just the thing is broken promises of 4 years, broken promises. And I definitely know a few Trump supporters myself. This is something that is definitely devastation for our country. And in order for us to recuperate and to regroup from something like this, the denunciation of Donald Trump is exactly what we need. And, for those people, the followers, the influencers, the people who are, continually leading this on, there has to be some type of seizure and stop.
You know what? Shani, honestly, I'll let Miss T go because I'm Miss T has something to say. Shani, I really think it's too late. They should have denounced him when he said the Muslims are banned from getting to this country. They should have denounced him when he was talking about grabbing women by the pussy. They should have denounced him. They should have denounced him when he said we're going to build a wall to keep Mexicans out, okay? Right. And all Mexicans are illegals, rapists, and drug dealers. They should have denounced them then. It is too late. Now, you want to try to denounce them when they goddamn stormed the White House? You didn't see that coming? The media played, he lies. The media watered him down because they like the ratings that Trump gives them. Trump is good for TV. Trump is good for ratings. These people. Miss T, I'm gonna let you go because you're not getting fired up, girl.
My view is the whole presidency was a joke. Just the way it was a sham, the whole process, how he got into office from the beginning. It just mind boggles me how he was allowed to stay in office after all he has done. One thing that stood out to me was the Black Lives Don't Matter scene that they did. And I was just sitting here like, we sitting at home, we working, we taking care of our families. We're not out there with y'all, storming the Capitals. You didn't have to bring us into this. We had nothing to do with what you guys were doing. You could have kept us out of your mouths. I mean, when this happened, as a parent, as a mother of a Black male, my heart was, where are my kids? And I have a daughter that's in the military. My heart was, where is my baby? As a mom, that's where I went with this whole situation. And not to put any fear on anything, because I don't live a fearful life. Yet and still, I was disturbed by that whole movement and how it was allowed to happen, and it wasn't shut down right away.
Yeah, I agree. And you guys, this is, I'm fired up about this because I'm not a fearful person either. But and I feel you on that, Miss T. Enough is enough, though.
Yes.
4 years of, like you said, broken promises. You didn't finish the wall.
How much money did that cost?
Just
that could have been put into the communities. That could have been put into job programs for those people that was storming the Capitol, that was fed those empty promises as well.
Yes, and then what is so crazy, I seen a guy from the footage in there with hog ties.
What
which
about
means he was going in there, yeah, right. The guy walked in there with hog ties, which means he was in there to take hostages. He was in there ready to round people up. He had plastic zip ties to tie people up for hostages inside the people's house. Inside the people's house. He had those plastic band ties to tie people up and take them as hostages.
Zip ties.
These Trump supporters, Republicans, white people, I want to call them, are terrorists. Let's just say that. I don't want to say insurrectionists or none of that. Terrorists. They're terrorists. They need to be put in Guantanamo Bay or something. You know, that's where they put all the other terrorists at, ain't it?
True.
They send their ass to Cuba. Well, send their ass to Cuba too, where all the rest of the terrorists are. You know, don't shoot and gun down black people. Don't send the National Guard out to undeserved, underfunded communities. Then when your base is following your leadership, runs into the people's house, and then you don't do nothing, and the media stays silent except just banning him from their social media platforms. When it's, like I said, it's too late to denounce Trump. Like I said, it's too late. You should have denounced him then. And, that those politicians, that those elected officials who support this guy, who wore those "Make America Great Again" hats just to get those votes at those rallies, they need to be held accountable. Mm-hmm. Democrats who sat there on the sidelines just for their public interest, they need to be held accountable.
Exactly.
You can't leave the Democratic Party out of it, because they knew the guy was a nut job before then. Trump was a Democrat.
Right.
He was a fucking Democrat.
That's the problem with statism, is it makes both sides, the opposing party, because again, they're using the force of government to impose their will on the rest of us. Back when there were the Black Lives Matter protests, it was being, shunned and criticized by people on the right to say, oh, well, you're out there rioting and you don't have an excuse. Well, now what's your excuse?
Right.
And that pits us against each other when we could be having a true revolution here in this country. And if it was because we are holding our elected officials accountable, because they aren't representing us, because they are selling us out by loaning more money or, to these big corporations and taking our money through taxation and these stimulus packages, these bailouts, then yeah, we have a valid reason to be rising up against our government. And it's sad that we're not coming together under that umbrella to rise up against the tyrannical behaviors of our government. It's happening here in our state. And what's sad is the lady that you're talking about that was shot, she was from California. She took her problems of the state of California all the way to Washington, D.C., opposed to focusing that energy on the people in the state capitol here in Sacramento, Gavin Newsom and his cronies, because they're the ones to blame for the local issues. And when it comes to local problems, we need to be dealing with it locally instead of pointing the finger at the federal government and saying they're the ones to blame. Now, when it comes to us, again, uniting under one common cause, then yes, we have a valid reason right now. You have people losing their jobs. You have families that are going homeless because of these unconstitutional, unwarranted lockdowns, and it's infringing our liberty. And even if the coronavirus,
Wildstar, I love you. I do love you. I love you. I love you. I love you. Look, love is unconditional. You know that. Wildstar, I believe wholeheartedly that the federal government as well has to take part of the blame, has to be held accountable. I believe the federal government is responsible for people like the Capitol Police. You see?
Of course, absolutely.
Yeah. So when you see the federal government allow and walk those protesters and open those gates in for those people to storm our house, that puts the federal government as an entire whole inside of the problem. You see what I'm saying?
Yes.
The federal government has been failing our people for generations. The federal government will continue to fail our people for generations if we don't come up with actionable items moving forward.
That's true.
Yeah, I'm not anti-Trump supporters because everybody loves everybody. What I am saying is, like I've said since day one, passion without direction is chaos. That shit we seen was chaotic.
Yeah.
It was divisive. They were trying to start a race war. They were trying to start a civil war. I believe that maybe they do really feel like they are unheard. But I also believe that there are many ways to get your voice out there without storming the United States Capitol. I really do. And everybody has to understand that. The reason I'm so upset, because when I jumped, I want everybody to treat these white people, these terrorists, these Trump supporters, just like y'all treated me when I jumped on the mayor's desk in 2018. Can we say that? Treat them like you treated me. Because if they made it like what I did was like I kicked my feet up on Trump's desk and started listening to YG and Nipsey Hussle. That's how they treated me.
If the shoe was on the other foot and you were being heralded and lifted up for doing something,
yeah, you know, it
was appreciated, and you were able to spark a revolution behind you doing so. Then yeah, now it's a just cause.
They believe they are sparking a revolution. That's the problem. You see, when I was up there, I was, you know, I wasn't breaking in nowhere. The building was open. These people broke into the building. And the federal government assisted them in breaking into the building.
So who's to protect you from the federal government? It's supposed to be the state government. And if the state government...
I believe the only way the state will not protect us. When it comes to the feds won't protect us. We have to protect ourselves. And that's coming up with our own de-escalation tactical teams. Teams in our community comprised of elders or those who know our struggle, know our fight, know who we are, who can address. We need culturally competent therapists on our communities. You see what I'm saying?
You're still trying to exist in the confines of their system.
No, but if we create, it's like the Nation of Islam. The Nation of Islam, it's a nation. They go by, even though they're in the system, but the nation is in a nation. The nation goes by its own rules inside the nation. You see what I'm saying?
What banks do they bank with? What banks do they bank with? What dollars?
I'm not a member of the Nation of Islam, but Brother Ben X, you know, they do have Greenwood Bank out there. There's many black banks out there. Greenwood is a bank out there.
Yeah, but the reserve note is the national dollar. That's what that's in the buying.
But what it is, they are controlling some of the market. They are controlling some of the way we connect and some of the way we come together and the same way we spend our dollars. Even by starting the Greenwood Bank, you know, taking that Wall Street mentality, that Greenwood mentality, and implementing it into 2021 standards. You know, taking that, creating our own de-escalation tactical teams, having our own culturally competent therapists in our communities, actionable items that we don't have to depend on the federal government or the state government, because we have created a village. There used to be a village. Ain't no more damn villages no more. So since there ain't no more villages, people are so dependent on state and federal governments. State and federal. After slavery, they didn't have no welfare, EBT checks, government cheese, food stamps, Section 8. You know, the war on poverty didn't start since Lyndon Johnson.
Yeah.
So let's be completely accurate. We don't need these people, but obviously we don't have no actionable items to sustain ourselves at the moment. You know, I believe
this just feels like history repeating itself. And I'm talking about like the Civil War, and when the Irish and the poor white people were going to be put out of their jobs, and they decided that they were going to.
Like, you still feel down, like, know what I mean? Like,
you said what?
What happened? What was that?
I don't know what that was.
Oh, okay. Well, I was just saying, it's when, the Irish and the non, I guess, white people banded to become part of the white community to fight against us that weren't even fighting. All we wanted was our civil rights. We wanted to be free, and it kind of is a little reminiscent of that. And I guess the whole saying, if you don't learn your history, you are doomed to repeat it. There's a lot of people that are not educating themselves on the past. So yeah, it's coming back up. It's like being regurgitated because we didn't deal with it. So it's time to deal with the past, so our future as a whole can be brighter. You want to segregate again? You want to do that whole thing? Then fine. Let's find some common ground. You don't want to be near me? Okay, I don't want to be near you either. But something's going to have to give. There's going to be a lot of people hurt, and it's time to just stand up and say enough is enough. I know, like, there's all kind of malicious groups that are being formed and everything. It's like, what's going to happen? What is going to be the bust?
Never.
And governor, like, what is our safety net? How can we protect ourselves? We have the right to bear arms, but there's a lot of places where they're not even letting us in to get the arms. Right. So we can protect ourselves. So how do we protect ourselves? Our civil rights. How do we protect ourselves?
You're asking me, or is that a rhetorical question?
I was asking a question.
You don't say pick up a gun. He's a Republican.
I agree with you completely. When it comes to us protecting ourselves, we shouldn't be reliant upon the state, especially when the state itself is posing a threat. And right. When it comes to us community building, we got to think about community economics. Right now, the Black community does not invest into itself enough to build that, to have that structure to where we're able to have our own schools, have our own hospitals, have our own gun shops, have our own cannabis shops, have our own cities, period. Other than what you can claim Atlanta, but where is that in California? Where is the safe haven to where we feel like we can go outside of our doors and not feel threatened by walking around in a community with a gun in our pocket? Right. To an effect, that's why Stevante's brother was shot and killed, was because Sacramento PD believed he had a gun and they shot and killed him, even though he had a cell phone. Exactly. So if you change the way that, again, these law enforcement personnel, because they are paid employees by us, the taxpayers, but Black people are paying for their own demise by funding these police departments, then we're never going to be able to have any leeway. We're never going to be able to have any control for that institution. So we do need to defund it in some way to make sure that we are putting more money into community law enforcement groups, like Stevante was saying, community de-escalation groups, more mental health groups to go out and help the mental health people having a mental health crisis in our community, or something to that effect, or drug users, instead of sending out the police, who 9 times out of 10 will respond violently. So until they are trained on how to deal with different people in different situations, then they shouldn't be allowed to deal with that situation at all. But it starts first with us being able to have the capital to start building that. Right now, we're not thinking on that level. So that's where I'm, again, just proposing to take over government first. What's the best way to do that is by making sure that we have our own representatives, people of the community, actually in position of government to make those changes for us. Right now, we don't. Who can we call on? We can't call on the governor to protect us. he was just talking about the shooting out in what is that, Marietta, where white kid was shot, by the police, and the officer now is on paid administrative leave. It's going to continue to happen.
The officer in Modesto, if you're talking about that one, he's already killed 4 people before. He's killed 4 already before.
He's been in 4 police shootings before this.
The guy's a murderer. He's a straight murderer. He's a straight terrorist. The guys who try to explore people's house are straight terrorists. They're trying to take hostages. This country's going to hell the way it's looking right now. If we don't get our shit together, this country's going to hell. If we don't get our shit together as a people, especially black people, we really got to come together and get our uniform and get our shit together. When Miss T's talking about that cannabis, you need to listen up, okay? Because we've been cut out all the deals. They done got half our people in jail, 40% of our people locked up over this stuff that they're making trillions off of. So you need to listen. When my sister Shawnee's teaching about this health and wellness and talking about her Peruvian cherries and her salads and all that good stuff, her garden, the oranges she's growing from her trees, you need to listen up. Because there's no way you can think you're going to take over an oppressive system and not have a food supply. You need to know how to eat and grow and take care of it.
It's true.
Okay? Listen to Wildstar when he says the right to bear arms. That is a constitutional right. You have a right. You have the right to, our founding fathers said you have the right to bear arms to protect yourself just in case some shit like what happened at the Capitol happened to you. Imagine if they started doing that in neighborhoods and communities. Imagine. Okay, so we have to, arm ourselves with the right tools to take out the oppressor, and not only that, but to build ourselves into a sustainable community that can look out for one another.
Mm-hmm. We need to teach our kids too. I mean, like we had this conversation before. We're home with our kids right now. Give them a piece of their history. Teach them about their legacy. Not everything in our history is negative.
Yes.
Change the story.
Yes.
We have the opportunity. COVID has presented us with the opportunity to change the narrative.
Everybody should be teaching their kids about Marcus Garvey. Marcus Garvey had a lot of black people donate him $5, and then he ended up taking his ass out of here. Now look, everybody needs to listen to Marcus. Look up Marcus Garvey. You need to listen to the writings of James Baldwin. There's a great documentary out if you don't want to read. It's called I Am Not Your Negro. You know what I mean? We need to learn that we are scholars. We are the first scholars. We are the first kings and queens and gods and goddesses. Jesus had hair wool. Okay? We have to understand that we come from royalty. We are Africa. Africa is called the motherland.
The original people.
And black people understand that this is, like Miss T said, this is the time to be informing your children, which means giving them facts, not opinions. Okay? Because like we said, opinions are like assholes. Everybody got them. Give them facts and then educate them, which means give them moral, social, or intellectual instruction. So that way they can use, the real knowledge, the true knowledge, and go build our communities up. Because what we're seeing right now is privilege is going too far. This hate is going way too far. The guy lost. It's time to throw the damn hats away. It's time to take them damn flags down off your trucks. Okay? It's time. It's over. The guy lost. Black people, we need to start focusing on us as a whole and at building our communities, building our people, building just us as an entire whole. And we need everybody to do this. It's not about geographical locale. Everybody had great points. Chris, I hear you listening and everything. I want you to get the final thought out here tonight, man. What's the final thought?
And final thought, I guess, is just coming together, having conversations like this, and just really disagreeing with each other, but really listening and going back, to find out, if we could work together in some type of way. I know for me, we talk to a lot of people from different sides, Republican and Democrats, and they do not like talking to each other. They do not like having these conversations with each other. And if you say anything different, they don't want to talk to you. So people are comfortable with being with people who would tell them that they're right. Sometimes we're not always right, and sometimes we don't always have an answer. So working together is really the key for me. And everybody has a great plan here on this panel, and I respect everybody and what they've been doing, everybody's movement. And, you know, I'm really looking forward to building up on this conversation right now from what you guys have and working together so we can get these communities together and really progressing. And that's it.
Thank you. Shawnee, final thoughts?
Really progressing.
You know, it's really important that we continue building, and from this day forward, we need more like-minded people who want to have an overall resolution, people who want to have, you know, the same unity and the way that people are treated right now. We all want that, but the thing is, people have to want it just a little bit more, and the way that they can get informed is looking into the I Am SAC Foundation. Follow them. They will be able to give you more guidance. There is an upcoming march coming up this upcoming Monday, January 18th. Of course, it's Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. And, you know, every year I've been in attendance, and I really want to make sure that we have a collective unit of people. So we're going to be meeting at 7000 Franklin Boulevard. This is going to be the hours of 10 a.m. all the way until 1 p.m. And there's going to be, you know, unity in the community. We're going to have people coming around from different areas, and you can look on the events page on Facebook, and you'll be able to see more information. But the I Am SAC Foundation is going to be having theirs at 7000 Franklin Boulevard, and this is going to be the hours of 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. So this will be a great way for you guys to come out, join us, join the community, you know, feel celebrated, celebrate something. Because, you know, all this travesty going on, we understand that, you know, there's COVID restrictions right now. So the best way to do that would be to come out, like I said, 7000 Franklin Boulevard on January 18th, Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Day. And that's a celebration for, you know, where we are at right now and what we can do more. The thing is, it's going to be a drive along. So a driving parade. So that's just, you know, helping out with the COVID restrictions. If anything, I appreciate you panelists, and I very much enjoyed this conversation, and I'm definitely looking forward to having another, again, because this is us. We are the people, and we need direction, and we have the passion. Let's direct people.
Amen. Amen. Okay, Miss T, final thoughts, Miss T.
Final thoughts. I have so many thoughts on all subjects. What I can say is grow yourselves, grow your family, grow your friends. You can't take everybody with you, but those that will listen, grab them by the hand and lead them. We are in a place of abundance right now, and don't let it pass you by. And I'm not just talking financial abundance. I'm talking the mind state and being able to be free in your mind. The one thing I know is I know nothing, and I'm seeking to gain knowledge every single day that I'm above the daisies. So I look forward to uniting with you guys and being a part of this community and carrying these conversations forward and making a difference in this world. I love you guys. Stay safe.
Thank you, Miss T. Wallstar, final thoughts, my man. You're Republican, so you have to go last.
Well, the one thing I want to say is Chris said it best when he said, you know, when it comes to Republicans and Democrats having these types of conversations, you don't hear them often. And that's because both the extreme right and the extreme left are full of fascists. You know, they're people that are locked in their ideals and their mindsets and don't want to hear anything contrary to that. So that's where us, the people that really want to see freedom reign supreme here in America, whether you're black, white, or whatever the case may be, this is the land of the free. So we all have to come together as a united community and fight for that and defend that and work towards that goal, because America is still a young country. It's still developing, and it's in its pursuit of democracy. But we do have a republic here, and that's the way that we're going to stand united. Is if those rules that we put on paper, as far as how our government should be acting, stays in place. It's when we act outside of that where things fall apart, and we saw that happen on Wednesday. So Shani said it best as well. We need to come together as a community and work together in making that happen, and put aside those divisive lines and issues, because this isn't a black-white issue or whatever. This is an American issue. And we do need to do what Ms. T said as well, and educate ourselves. Use this time to dig into the crates, find out more about your genealogy. Not a lot of Black people even know if they have ancestry that were even slaves in this country. Not all of us are slaves or were descendants of slaves in this country. So we need to find out our roots, find out our history, and find out where we can go. Like Stevante was talking about with the Honorable Marcus Garvey. He wanted to build that nation for us elsewhere. But I say this is our land, and we need to be building our nation right here on the land that we were born on, just like every other American. So join us in the fight for freedom as you live your life, of course.
Thank you, Wildstar. Thank you for that. Thank you to my lovely panelists for joining me. I appreciate you all. You guys are amazing. I know I told you 30 minutes or 15 minutes. It was like an hour or two. I really appreciate you guys for that. My final thoughts are this. These are my final thoughts. America, you should be ashamed of yourself. You look stupid. You look horrible. You look disgusting. You look stupid. You look ignorant. You look trifling. You look like somebody, that was beautiful in high school, but damn it, I don't know what the hell happened. Okay. I don't know. Okay. Because even in high school, you had a nasty ass attitude, but now not only is your attitude worse, you look 10 times uglier. You know what I mean? America, this is you. You are looking at what you've created. The Republican Party, those elected officials who decided not to call Trump and his bullshit lies out, the media who sat there and hyped his ass up for ratings, all the people that sat here and voted for this piece of shit after he lied, after he said Muslims should be banned, after the wall, after the grabbing the woman by the pussies, after the lies, after lies, after lies, after the Hillary Clinton emails, after all this stuff he's done. And all the people that, after calling our African countries shithole countries, huh? Y'all forget that, huh? How you really feel about us? So we knew who Trump was. People want to say, oh, he's the businessman. This is America. We got to take care of business. Yeah. To what extent? What price are you willing to pay for that? What price? We seen on Wednesday the price you're willing to pay. We seen it. Trump is not in jail. He has not been arrested. No charges. They say they have to look into what? What is there to look into? Huh? We all seen it for ourselves on national television. We all seen him hype up a rally at the doorsteps of the Capitol. Not for nothing. That was not a peaceful protest. I'm pissed off. This is why Americans drink. This is why Americans smoke cigarettes. This is why Americans don't trust elected officials. Because as soon as somebody gets elected, not only do they lie and backtrack and go backwards on all their promises, and they forget about the people who got them in the office, but they're selfish. They're not thinking about the interest of the country.
Mm-hmm.
They're thinking about the interest of themselves. I'm ashamed, that we live in 2021. I thought this year was going to be different. This year is going to be different, though. This is still the year of the open door. I decree, declare, announce, and pronounce it. We're still going to walk through our blessings. I got to get off of here soon, but I do want to say that I'm upset highly upset on what transpired on Wednesday. And my final thoughts are: if you want to come with actionable items, go to iamsackfoundation.com or go to iamsackfoundation@gmail.com and send us a message on how you would like to be part of the movement, not the moment. Like I said, what happened at the Cap is unacceptable. Unacceptable on all levels. I gotta get out of this live because I'm pissed off still. And if I keep going, I'm going to just talk about why Trump needs to be in jail, why the entire Capitol Police staff and everybody needs to be fired because they put our elected officials in jeopardy. They put the people's house in jeopardy. Can you imagine if that place would have caught on fire? I mean, I can't say could you imagine if somebody got killed because 5 people died.
Mm-hmm.
When is enough enough? Twitter, you're too late. Facebook, you can delete this video if you want, Mark Zuckerberg, but you are too late. Instagram, too late. Too late to delete accounts. We look bad, like Shawnee said. We look bad across the United Nations as a whole. Iraq laughing at us. Iran, they're saying, hey, you talk about us like we have no order. You talk about us about people running into our buildings. Well, look at you. Look at you in America. Russia is laughing at us. North Korea is laughing at us. And Trump cozied up to these dictators. And now these dictators are laughing at us. What kind of world do you want to live in? I want you to ask yourself that. This is my final thought. What kind of world do you want to live in? I want to live in a world where accountability is a reality, and not just the communities that don't look like people like me, but a reality of all communities. Until justice and accountability, transparency and accountability is a reality in all communities, I'm going to be out here fighting, calling those people out, doing my best on what I could do to hold these people accountable for the fucked up things that they're doing. If won't nobody else do it, damn it, I will. A lot of you people, you can't break me. I don't care. It's my final thought. But a lot of you people, the one that want to judge and play holy and moral condemnation, oh, well, he had a gun. Well, he shouldn't have been running. Or now what do you have to say? Now what do you have to say? Huh? Now what do you have to say, huh? Because they came in there with guns. They came in there with assault rifles. They came in there with pipe bombs. They came in there with zip ties. And the officer died. I thought Blue Lives Matter, huh? What happened? Blue Lives Matter didn't matter January 6th, huh? Huh? Not today, huh? Huh? I thought you need to respect and honor law enforcement. What happened to that, huh? The total disrespect on law enforcement. I have never seen even black people disrespect law enforcement like that. And black people are disrespectful as hell. But I ain't seen no black people disrespecting no law enforcement like that in my life because they know if they did it, they'd be killed. They'd be assassinated in their grandmama's backyard. Huh? I went to Modesto today. A man at the age of 27 named Trevor, he's a white man, was running from police. In a matter of 9 seconds, he was gunned down, dead, and behind of a church in Modesto. His funeral was yesterday. The mother was interrogated before she even knew her son had died. She was interrogated and honors law enforcement so much they want to speak about it until she's seen the body cam footage, until she's seen her baby die. America, get your shit together. That's my final thought right there. Get your shit together because you look stupid. You look real stupid. Because stupid means you know better with your stupid ass. Dumb means you don't know at all. You're not dumb. I got books on borderline personality disorder for dummies. How to make shells for dummies. Dumb means you don't know at all. You're a dumbass. You don't know. You're just dumb. You can't blame me for that. But stupid, Y'all stupid as hell for going inside the people's building. We got pictures, idiots. And let me tell you something. If this ever happens again and it's by some colored people, and let's let black people not be able to make it 3 blocks towards the Capitol. Let me tell you something, black people. We're not going to do what they do because we're peaceful people. But we didn't have a 1 million man march right in front of that motherfucker, so they know, that we are mobilized, we are together, and we with love, and we're peaceful, and we're nonviolent. Those terrorists were everything but peaceful, everything but nonviolent. And this is your America, America. These are Trump supporters. This is America. This is white Americans. I seen a black dude in there. I see all types of people in there. This is America, damn it. And if we don't come together as a country on actionable items, then we are going down, down, baby. The Nelly song. Okay? All right. I love you all. Everybody love everybody. If you want to be a part of www.imsacfoundation.com, go there and do that. If you want to volunteer, go to imsacfoundation@gmail. You can donate. You can purchase the merch that funds the work. And let me tell you something. We have a 6-point program here. Bridge the gap between law enforcement and at-risk communities, inform and educate on policy and legislative change, provide resources and healing space for those in our community, commemorate the ongoing life of Stephon Clark in a positive light, receive recommendations from you, the people, how to prevent such atrocities like Stephon from ever happening again. And number 6, the golden rule, the golden gospel, spread the gospel of love. Everybody love everybody. Thank you all my panelists one more time. Sorry you guys got to hear my long ass rant, but I love you all. Thank you all. I'm so glad we got Wildstar, that Republican, out of here. Oh my gosh, probably didn't hear me talk about his people so bad. But I'm not clowning all Republicans either. A lot of Republicans are good, but those Republicans that voted for this guy and support this guy still crazy. Throw the red hats away. Throw the flags away. 2020 is over. Make America Great Again was a historical moment. Okay, we're gonna give it that, but it's over. It's done. We're moving on. And you know what? The Republican Party will never be the same again. Mark my words. The Republican Party will never be the same again. It's going to take a very, 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 very long time to bounce back from this. I love you all. Thank you for joining me. This has been a special conversation with Mr. Clark. Everybody love everybody. Accountability on all levels. Y'all know that SAC 6 program. Thank you, Miss T. Thank you, Shawnee. Thank you, Chris. I love you guys. Amen. We out of here.
All right. Have a good one.
Hey, guys. Good night. Love you guys.